Hello students. In the last lecture, we studied the different specifications of measuring instruments. Up till now, in sequential manner, we have discussed metrology from basics. We discussed what metrology is, why we are learning metrology, what is the purpose of metrology, what are their objectives. Finally, we moved to system of measurements. We studied the different specifications of measurement, and then in this lecture let us start with what are the different errors in measurement. Now we know that for carrying out any measurement we need three elements, and the elements are measurand, reference and a comparator. And this point we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now we also discussed that the whole of a measuring system comprises of a standard, a workpiece, an instrument, a person and the environment. Now we also discussed that there are certain factors which affects these elements, and if these elements are affected by any means, by any factor, then there are chances that errors in the measurement may occur. Whatever dimension we are measuring, any change or any factor which affect these standard parameters, that is the standard, the workpiece or the instrument, the person or the environment, any change in any of these will give me some error, some dimension which is not the exact dimension. That means some error will be produced. Now let us move forward and see what are the different types of error and how these error may get produced. So let us discuss that, as we have already discussed, that it is never possible to measure the true value of a dimension. That is, there is always some error. The error in the measurement is the difference between the measured value and the true value. Right now, whatever the dimension has a true value, now whatever we measure, if that differs from the true value, then the amount by which it differs will be termed as error. Right? So error in the measurement is the difference between the measured value and the true value of measured dimensions. And the error in measurement may be expressed either on absolute error basis or as a relative basis. Right? Now we also know that absolute, when we term it as an absolute term, and when we relate anything with some another thing, then we term it as a relative thing. Right? So let us have a brief discussion about absolute error and relative error. We can say that the absolute errors are of two types, that is true absolute error and apparent absolute error. Whenever we measured keeping the reference as a 0, then it will be termed as an absolute one, and it has been classified into two types, that is true absolute error and apparent absolute error. A true absolute error is the algebraic difference. This true absolute error is the algebraic difference between the result of measurement and the conventional true value of the quantity. So the difference between the result of measurement, whatever we have measured, and the conventional true value, whatever the true value is, their difference is nothing but an true absolute error. And if series of measurements are made and then they are then a mean value of these many measurements is taken, and that the means difference and the true values difference will be termed as apparent absolute error, right? So let us move forward and लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड इट. इफ अगर हमारे पास कोई एक प्रोडक्ट है, उस प्रोडक्ट का हम डायमेंशन मेजर कर रहे हैं, अगर उस डायमेंशन को मेजर करते हैं, मेजर करने के बाद वैल्यू मतलब कि मेजर्ड वैल्यू और जो हमारा ट्रू वैल्यू है उसका, इन दोनों का जो कुछ भी डिफरेंस होगा उस डिफरेंस को हम कहेंगे एब्सोल्यूट एरर. या फिर अगर अपरेंट एब्सोल्यूट एरर की बात करें तो समझ लो कि हमारे पास एक कोई प्रोडक्ट है, उस प्रोडक्ट के हम बहुत सारे रीडिंग्स लेते हैं, उस रीडिंग्स के हम एक मीन निकालते हैं और उस मीन का अगर हम डिफरेंस देखते हैं हमारी ट्रू वैल्यू से, सो उसे हम कहते हैं दैट इज अपरेंट एब्सोल्यूट एरर. ओके, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड वी हैव relative error. It is nothing but the quotient of absolute error and the true value, or we can also sum up it as the arithmetical mean for series of measurement is termed as a relative error. हम उसे सिर्फ किसी के साथ रिलेशन में मेजर कर रहे हैं, that is a relative error. Now moving forward, when we classify errors has been classified into a static error and an instrumental loading error. Static error includes a reading error, characteristic errors, environmental errors, and an instrumental loading error involves anything in the instrument. So let us see what a static error is and what an instrumental loading error is, and the third type, that is a dynamic error. Now, among the static errors, the errors which result from the physical nature of various components of measuring system will be termed as static error. There are not errors, but they occur only due to physical nature of the measuring system. So they include reading errors. For example, a person is carrying out some measurement, and if by mistake he reads wrongly whatever he is measuring, there is some error in his measurement. At that time it will be termed as a reading error. So these errors occur due to carelessness of the operator. They do not have any direct relationship with other type of errors within the measuring system. Now, reading error includes parallax error. Now, these type of error arise due to the direction of viewing. We can more specify it as an error which arises on account of pointer and scale not being in the same plane. We can eliminate this error by having the pointer and scale in the same plane, right? For example, we have a scale, this is your scale, and in case when you view from this direction, you will see some another reading. If you view it from this direction, you will see another reading, and the exact reading will be if the plane of the measurement or the pointer, that is the scale, and the direction of measurement, that is the comparator, are in the same plane. Only then it is accurate, right? So we can say that parallax error arises due to direction of viewing of the reading. So that is one type of reading error. Another error, okay, we have some of these characteristics as wrong scale reading and wrong recording of the data are the effects of parallax error. They also estimate inaccuracies and incorrect conversion of units in calculations. Okay, so Moving forward, we have another type of error as a characteristic error, which is defined as deviation of the output of the measuring system from the theoretical predicated performance or from the nominal performance specification. Examples are linear errors, repeatability, hysteresis. Characteristic errors, if theoretical output is straight line. Now, calibration error is also included in characteristic error. Moving forward, we have environmental errors. Now, any error occurring due to environmental changes will be termed as environmental errors. These errors are caused due to effect of surrounding temperature, pressure, humidity on the measuring instrument. Whenever the surrounding factors affect the measuring instrument, then there are chances that some error may be produced, and if such error exists, it will be termed as environmental errors. External factors like nuclear radiation, vibration, etc. also lead to errors. Temperature plays an important role when high precision is required. Let us see an example that while using a slip gauge, due to handling, the slip gauges may acquire human body temperature, whereas the work is at 20 degrees Celsius. In that case, a 300 mm length will go in error by 5 microns, which is quite a considerable error. And when some accuracy is desired at that time, even a 5 micron error will be a big error. Right? And to avoid errors of this kind, all metrology laboratories and standard rooms worldwide are maintained at 20 degrees Celsius. So, moving forward, we have another error, that is instrument loading error. Loading error results from the change in measurement itself when being measured. So, that is mainly due to the instrument. Now, if instrument loading error is a difference between the value of measurement force and after the measurement. For example, a soft or ductile component is subjected to deformation during measurement due to contact pressure of instrument and cause of loading error. The effect of this error is unavoidable. Now remember, whenever we are using an instrument to measure something, that means we have to bring the instrument or the workpiece, and instrument in contact. At that time, there will be some force to be exerted so that these instrument and the workpiece are in contact during whole measurement process. Now, the amount of force applied will always have an effect on the measured value. For example, if I am using a micrometer to measure a thickness of some steel plate, at that time when I press the thimble to tighten the workpiece, then the amount of force applied will result some very minute deflection in the thickness. That is, it will result into some errors, and this error will be termed as instrumental loading error. Right? Why did it occur? Because there was some errors during loading of the workpiece. Now, let us move forward and see the third type of error, that is dynamic error. Now, this type of error are also measurement error, and it is the difference between the true value of measuring quantity and the value indicated by measurement system if no static error is assumed. When we say that there are no static errors, and even if that some error occurs during measurement process, then that type of error will be termed as dynamic error. That is it is a time bound error. We have to find out why exactly that error has occurred, right? We cannot predict that this is due to applied external force, or it is due to the workpiece characteristic, right? These types of errors are difficult to determine. So these which are not static one, which are not due to loading, that type of errors will be finally termed as dynamic type of errors. These errors are further classified as systematic or controllable errors, and which are not controllable one. Let us see one by one. Those dynamic errors which are controllable, which we can control, will be termed as a controllable error. These errors are controllable in both their magnitude as well as stress, to be determined and reduced. These are due to calibration error, okay, these are due to calibration errors, we can say that calibration errors are the actual length of standard such as scales will vary from the nominal value by small amount. This will cause an error in measurement of constant magnitude. The another type may be atmospheric errors. Also, it is again controllable one. We can control it. So atmospheric errors are variation in atmospheric conditions. These errors occur due to variation in atmospheric conditions, that is maybe temperature, pressure, moisture content, etc. at the place of measurement from that of internationally agreed standard values, that is 20-degree temperature at atmospheric pressure. And atmospheric pressure, we can say that atmospheric pressure 1.01325 bar, or in terms of mm of Hg, it is 760 mm of Hg, right? So that is an internationally agreed values, where our standard rooms, our measurement room are always maintained at 20 degrees Celsius and atmospheric temperature, and atmospheric pressure, that is 760 mm of mercury, and they can give rise to errors in measurement size of the component. Again, errors which may arise due to stylus pressure will be termed as the controllable error. For example, if we are measuring something, then of course, if some stylus or probe is present, and the amount of pressure which is exerted by the probe on the workpiece, it may give me some errors. Though the pressure involved is generally small, but this is sufficient enough to cause appreciable deformation of both the stylus and the workpiece, and they may produce some errors. Now, variation in force applied by the anvils of the difference in the readings. In this case, error is caused by the distortion of both micrometer frame and the workpiece. So again, stylus pressure is nothing but a controllable error. Now, another controllable error is some avoidable error. These errors may occur due to parallax, non-alignment of workpiece centers, improper location of measuring instruments such as thermometer in sunlight while measuring temperature. There are some random errors. These random errors they occur randomly, and the specific cause of such errors cannot be determined. And if the causes are determined, of course we can say that if we can eliminate them, that is we can control the errors. And in case if it is a random one which we cannot predict, then of course we will find difficult to eliminate it. The likely sources of these type of errors are small variation in position of setting standard and workpiece, slight displacement of lever joints in the measuring instrument, friction in measuring instrument, and operator errors in reading scale. So, my dear students, these were the different types of errors. We will stop here and we will continue our discussion on errors in the coming lecture. Till then, take care and thank you.